building to construct a 3-story building that will host the Bureau of Passports and then have passport application centers. The passport area remains a very challenging area that we have. I must say to you, because of great everywhere, the thing we brainstorm. Sometimes nights, the challenges. It's not President Dr. William. In fact, the last passport situation scandal was uncovered by the president himself. President Dr. William, the first, passport scandal, was uncovered by him. So we want to build our part of the vision and stand alone that it won't link. Because when I took over as minister and we instituted measures, we gave an instruction that no one who is not working in the Bureau of Passport should go to passport, who works at the ministry. Someone told me in this very place, they said that was human rights violation. Human rights violation, when you're working here, you don't work in the passport bureau, then you say that human rights violation because the minister says you're not working there, don't go there. So, as long as that attachment remains, with door all coming in from the basement, it makes it difficult. And the kind of building that we envisage, that you see there was described, security building where access will be through biometric, security, all of that. Just like we have with others around the world, as it is. So that's one. And the cost of this building in all the 3 stories, United States $3.5 million. That's what the Bureau of Passport, as it is. But that is something that we will not be able to realize as we are getting out. But it has national security implications. And building, handling the passport area has not just national security implications, but even global security. Because it will help to curtail passports for people, who are out there. But during this time, every situation that had to do with passport, that through the system we put in place, that was uncovered, we made sure we wrote the Minister of Justice to come in and investigate. So these things sometimes you heard that people out on earth, no, nobody out there on earth. It is the system that we have in place, here to be able to uncover, and all of that. So when we uncover, we are not, and we write the Minister of Justice to come and do an investigation. And for every letter we wrote the Minister of Justice to come and investigate, we also resolved. We invited the U.S. Embassy and others to come and assist, with the investigation. That's how open that we have been. There's nothing there, to hide. Nobody running beyond passport or wrong passport for anything. So that's for the Bureau of Passport. 3.5 million United States dollars. We didn't get that money. So you don't go and report that, they put a government. No one gave us money. Only money sources when we receive positive, or when I talk about the renovation, Morocco and Saudi Arabia. As it is. Then we came to furniture, equipment, CCTV, security enhancement systems, and general logistics for the Bureau of Passport and Visa and Passport Application Center. I will talk about construction. That is 500,000 United States dollars. That the place is built and then equipping and furnishing the place to all those things will be $500,000. $500,000 we thought would be required. Again, we didn't get that money, from anywhere. As it is. but we still been managing with our team under the best of circumstances. Then we came to vehicles. Under vehicles, we have SUVs. SUV, you may decide to run with it. We have SUV. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, everybody we travel. Sometimes we even travel when the plane comes to receive us quick. We look at it and think back home. Diplomacy is image. So for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, there we allocated one vehicle is $100,000. And then a backup vehicle, also, you will see that. And then minivan. Okay, backup vehicle, deputy minister and equivalent. We have 14 deputy ministers and equivalent. You know, the protocol bureau. The head, the chief of protocol is equivalent to the rank of deputy minister. So these kinds of things. The inspector general, you know, is equivalent to deputy minister. So that's why you see deputy ministers and equivalent. And then we have 14. We put it at 65,000. You know, and it's there, it came up to 9 and 10,000. Then we ask them. You know, we put that one sedan for backup for the minister, which is not an unusual thing here in the ministry. Then we have pickups, you know, and vehicles for assistant ministers and equivalent. You know, we also got, like the controller is an equivalent to assistant minister. The senior deputy chief of protocol is equivalent to, you know, assistant minister, special assistant to the minister of foreign affairs, you know, is also in that. So we did that for 11 of them at 50,000. You will see the figure there also. And then directors, 10 directors, put out 40,000. Then 50 seated the minivan, you know, 5 minivan, and utility vehicles, pickup, motorcycle. So when you put everything, it came up to $2,596,000 United States dollars. $2,596,000 United States dollars. Nobody gave us $100 for that. So we get it. So that being open to let you know the plan where you are going, and then be left for you to use it, modify it, or put it away, you know, for one to be open. Then we came to representation, backup, and utility vehicles for our foreign missions. You know, the need is really there, you know, as it is. So we prepared for 31 missions. And the 31 missions, we put it at 80,000 per mission. Vehicle for the ambassador. And you know, representation for the ambassador or head of mission. And you know, of the embassy. So we put that at 80,000 for each. And then backup vehicles, you know, also for the mission. We put it at 31. 65,000 for each. And utility vehicles, we also put it at 31 for 65,000. So when you put all that together, it gives you $6,510,000 United States dollars. $6,510,000 United States dollars. So you will see that it's so easy to pick up a microphone on a talk show, or for you who are in a position, experienced experiencing it like us. To say, oh, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, look at the ambassador car, look at the mission, look at the plane going down, look at. These are the figures we're talking about. You know, these are the figures we're talking about. And just as we do renovation, there's no way we'll have the money available if we had it that we'll sit down on it. No. I told you about the DMA and I was all there. So I know the experiences from the two sides that make us to be able to come in with, you know, with the reform, you know, as it is. So that's that, and then we got guest vehicles. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you know, does receive guests. That we see other areas where we travel. You know, it is the military vehicles that they use to go in, even pick us up. You know, here is not the case. So we also put in for that 12 SUVs, 100,000 each. You know, for guests that come in. You know, whether foreign ministers or senior guests, special envoys. You know, so all of that. You know, so that's with respect to that. Then we also consider the renovation, refurbishment, furnishing and equipping of government of Nigeria's properties abroad, hosting Nigerian embassies. We took that into consideration. Home office, the foreign service, and then the properties that are there, you know, we took those into consideration. You know, welcome back. You know, so we took that into consideration. That we got properties that need renovation. Washington D.C. we got, as you will see, just go, you know, please make this clear. Washington D.C., New York. I told you about the New York ambassador residence. Washington D.C., Abuja, you know, Accra, Freetown, Abidjan, Dakar, Conakry, London, Pretoria, Sweden, Addis Ababa. So we have properties out there. We even have a property in the prime area in Sweden that I went to and saw. And the current ambassador of Sweden, we had to talk to him, and then he went with that plywood, and then we put it there. You know, as it is. You know, with the mind of winning. But no one that sat in this seat or sat on this side for the last 30 or more years will tell you that what I'm talking about are new things. Not even Ambassador Balu, who the thing from here. Even when you serve out in the field, you know, as it is, those are nothing new. And that's why we must continue to be honest with the public. And we don't create the impression that these are creations for the last 6 years. Even though this is no excuse for not addressing it as it is. But we know the challenge with resources as it is. But whether resources or not, we are conscious of these things. So we have them as part of our plan. And our resource mobilization was diversified. Government, though we not, while at the same time we not the doors of our friends to explore the possibility of getting funding. So you need, from our estimate, 5,792,000 United States dollars. That's what you need for the renovation and refurbishment of our properties that we got outside. 5,792,000 United States dollars. So those are not things that we have figures, and you know, as it is. But we thank God that, you know, the decision to the Liberian people, the incoming administration, you know, they decide to use this or do their own. And that these things, you know, I'm sure will be things of the past here at the Foreign Ministry and the Foreign Service. that we don't have a situation of breakdown of the ego, of an ambassador as it is, and all of that, because these things happen even before the last two administrations. These are things that may happen. It may interest you to know that the permanent mission in New York, they even went to the point before Madam Saliba became president that they were even using in the UN Jacoland, because there were no facility for electricity. It's important for the historicity so that we disabuse our minds like this of today or 6 years creation. As it is. These things I'm talking about, Ambassador Wallace, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and me of the cabinet. All the properties were out there, these problems were there also. So there's nothing new. They are nothing new. And unless we approach it with honesty and sincerity and do away with the idea of wanting to do blame game for political rationale, political process, we may not be able to get there. And that's why I am away from doing away with political landscape or political lenses and focus on the technical thing and on the reality. So that's that with respect to that. Then we come to policy framework, which is the last, for these two presentations. Policy framework, human resource capacity building for officials and personnel at the Home Office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and ambassadors and other foreign service officers and personnel of Liberia's foreign service and logistical support for the diplomatic security service of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia. For that, 100,000 United States dollars, for that work, for those policy-related work. And our approach we used in determining this was cost-saving approach. Using the skills, the internal skills that we have. But the money would have been $5 million if we were relying on external consultancies for those who have been quite expensive. But we love to see the experience, the expertise, whether Ambassador Wallace, Ambassador Kamara, Ambassador Vivian Red, Ambassador Yin, Ambassador Duane Gray, and others on the team. We use their expertise. So, and we don't give them any extra. And so only when it comes to the printing and doing those, when we go through the process. So that's how the figure is like this. Even when we took over as minister, we have 4 days retreat that I took off my ministerial cap and put on my facilitation cap. And for 4 days, I personally facilitated that retreat. And we took over to do a SWOT analysis of the ministry. Well, we have, and no one paid me 1 cent outside of my salary because of understanding. But you have gotten consultants from outside, you are paying more. So this is the figure and it comes to the total amount of United States $31,750,000. No one gave us a cent besides the two that I talked about. And then on contrast, the government of Liberia, when we were talking about the renovation, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning made available 100,000 United States dollars. And that 100,000 United States dollars is my understanding that they enter into a contract with a company, for that 100,000 to build generator house, build fence, and all of that beyond. The Deputy Minister for Administration is best suited, to speak to that, to speak to that contract, as it is. One see me best suited in under contract that personally to say from personal perspective, by administration, handle that. So that's what we make on in the ministry. I've asked them to, as at December 31, 2003, I directed them, and you see the acting controller, to get the balances, bank balances, the financial standing of all of the financial accounts of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and let them get them, and let them also specify who in the ministry have been managing these respective accounts. And they should have that to be able to make available. We got nothing to hide here. We do nothing to hide. You hear my name up there, it's because somebody got problem with transparency and they can't do it with reform. So they will carry my name all kinds of way. They will talk all kinds of way about me. I take pride in it. And I will be very proud of my stance, no matter who, it was. We stood with respect to the reform, as it is. Generally, on some policy framework, we just speak to that and turn over the floor. Besides passports, one of the areas that was very challenging to me here that I took over is the area of honorary councils. I know you have a specific question in the survey. The issue of honorary council was an area that was very, very much challenging and up to now. To God be the glory that His Excellency President Dr. Weah supported the reform and still supports the reform. So in line with the reform, we needed to bring it to turn. We didn't believe, based on what we had, that the country was benefiting from the honorary councils. We didn't believe that, and as I speak to you, going out, I don't believe that, based on what we know as it is. It was a very tough zone for me. Tough zone. We paid dearly a price, and we continue to pay dearly, for the kinds of things that we do. So we resolved passport area was key, then honorary councils. We resolved to revise the honorary council regulations. We approached His Excellency President Dr. Weah. We got very positive and pleasing response to go on with the reform. We then set up a team, Councillor Gray and a team to draft, and then they presented it to us, a senior management team. We went through it and thought it was in the best interest of the country. We then got in touch, sent it to the chief executive, the president to his legal team. His team went through the processes within the presidency and that day, and the president positively responded, approving the revised honorary council regulations. But before then, we had an honorary council who being honorary council from His Excellency the late President Tubman time, up to this administration time. And then it was followed by even the son also taking up honorary councilship. Before President Weah, before Madam Sali, former president, before interim administration, before Doro, His Excellency former President Doro. So you see, so we realized that there was an issue, and we needed to discuss with our legal team and discuss with Maritime, giving the role they will play. Year before, no, it's 2021. The 2022 January, we got approval to terminate the services of this person and their son. They were not family money. And we were not getting any benefit. So our legal team got together and we terminated the services. We got threatened for legal action. Who are honorary councils? Honorary councils are not small people. Those are people that got the bucks. Some are millionaires. People who talk to them and terminated. I'm not even sure that they were millionaires to say they leave them multi-millionaires. And then we here in the name of reform going against these things. You think it's an easy thing? In the world we live in, we got ourselves, we got our family. So we went through that and that ended. And we never got back to restoring. We wrote the country and we withdrew the exit quarter. As it is. So that passed. In the process of that, we were being told to break. And that we had gone too far. I was going too far with our break. As it is. Honorary councils, on the approval of His Excellency, we terminated the services of all honorary councils of Liberia around the world. When we last year in February introduced the revised honorary council regulation, because as Minister of Foreign Affairs, here they are, Sen Atoko as Minister of Foreign Affairs. Up to today, everyone met here and my people. But since up to now, it will be more than bearable for me if they make available to me the list of honorary councils that are inherited. Up to today, as I speak, from one senior management meeting to the other, I'm not being able to get that list of people who serve as honorary councils. Up to now, as I speak. As a matter of fact, as I speak to you, and I took over, I have not up to this point received turnover notes. I have not received turnover notes. They are here as witnesses, and I've urged them, move in, talk. We need turnover notes. But how be it? Given the vision and the determination to work, we stay navigated and work in terms of what happens. So I know also what comes along with you now having a blueprint. Nobody here, this foreign ministry, I don't know much. We stand in a way, and they're not standing in a way, they're cooperating. We stand in a way of turn over notes on information that you need in the internet. That's why I tell you, don't come here prejudging people. Because you don't know people. Even these people sitting down here, I can tell you, money, the services they render, the senior management team, is immeasurable, invaluable. So when you come knowing that we are partners for the good of Liberia. And what is happening is just one administration leaving, another administration coming in, and we are the same, as it is. So, we terminated all of the services of our honorary councils around the world and withdrew their exit quarters, with the exception of those who directly dealing with maritime and the one in Kenya. So is Brazil, is Brazil, is Greece, okay, Greece, Argentina, Israel, So Argentina, Greece, Italy, and Israel. That's the four honorary councils that own directed because of the maritime sector. And to not disrupt, our ranking in the world in terms of shipping registry. So the Maritime Commission, through the Honorable Len Eugene Mango, made a request which was approved by His Excellency, and rightly so, not to disrupt. Those are the honorary councils that we have. Other than that, we have the honorary council in Kenya, right? That's all. Making it a total of 5 out of the countless numbers that up to today, I can't remember about 9 years. Nobody can give it as it is. So that 5 honorary council. Ambassador Geraldine passed there. She was ambassador. She knows more about the story of honorary council and challenges that we've had in the field and all of that with those areas. So even the people serving in those areas, they didn't even want to regard the respective foreign missions, as it is. But I had to wrestle with directive from my boss. And once I get directive, I don't put it down. I religiously implement. Like I have a directive to lead the transition, I will continue to religiously implement it to its finality. After May Day, 12 May Day after that, January 22nd, and we say, yes. Our leader now becomes former, so we saw former president. Thank you for graciously appointing the arm and the mandate is there. This is not about where you want your personal thing or political. No, there are things that you can separate. This is a call to national duty. This is a call to national service. You think it's an easy thing from February to now? Honorary Council, the Mother of Balogun, they've been to the field, to put it down, and there are 5 that we maritime. Minister of Foreign Affairs came out. You think it's so because I don't want to, if I bring transparency and I can't do it. To even decide to go around, but not an easy decision, as it is. So that's what it is. With respect to the honorary council and the revised regulations, and then we go to the passport regulation of March 2016. We have also received approval from the president on that, and ruling it out, and which becomes now new regulations that we will talk about. They have been revised and approved by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, bringing the term, for instance, all of the passports, whether Liberian, whether ordinary, whether service, whether official, whether diplomatic, they all have the same duration. And that duration is 6 years duration as it is. So we just left to pass on. When you check in the region, you check around the world, we are one of the countries with even minimum. In some million, some countries, 10 millions, even and we had, we don't. We even went to just give you a little background. There are a number of times we were summoned by the legislature, the Senate, and to be specific. And in that summer, we went with our team to the Foreign Affairs Committee were pushing to have our passports, diplomatic passport, dropped to the duration of 9 years to suit the duration of their time. It was not. It was tough. We've been in the hard seat in terms of that from the Senate. Through the committee. So I'm just trying to give a background as to how informed, some of the things that informed the revision to coming to the point at which we are, which is also rather strange. So we revised the regulation, we went by it as it is. And then also we took into consideration realities, current realities, so that you don't find yourself in a situation like you're engaging in fraudulent activities or corrupt practices. So given the realities of the engagements and all of that, so these were approved and were by the president. And for the future, these are approvals. I always tell my team that I don't play with. We keep it in the cloud, we keep it everywhere, as it is. These are not questionable kinds of stuff. So we got no reason to revise it. We're going out. And even before we became minister, even previous ministers, the regulations have always been there for position we have. Position we hold it and we went out. So nothing but question or what have you. And making sure that we strengthen the passport regime so that we'll be able to achieve the required results and all of that. But for foreign nationals who may be preferred, they don't carry, for instance, if they are on diplomatic passport for that land, foreign national or foreign national, if decided by the head of the country, or the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the acquiescence of the new administration, that someone, the people who talk about honorary council and decide to give them diplomatic passports, they carry them for not more than 2 years. So it's only Liberians, that use passports across the globe for 6 years. But non-Liberians who may, be given, depending on the authority, will carry it for not more than 2 years. So that's something. The other area of policy framework has to do with the Foreign Service Manual. The Foreign Service Manual takes into consideration also the realities of the field. For instance, I was in the field as ambassador. But as ambassador, there were not entitlement, even people who served in that position before, to insurance. So you can imagine the number of ambassadors that are out there. And it's not new. That's a long-term thing. That's something inherited. You're ambassador, you're in a foreign land, you don't have insurance. Your family, no insurance. When you're sick, how do you in a foreign country? So the manual, will address these kinds of situations. Right now, besides the United States of America, even that, which there are things with insurance. The rest, there's no insurance coverage. For the rest of the foreign service. The UN is there, and then besides the insurance, there's what you call cost of living adjustment. Just imagine like the shock in Europe. And what happened because of the Ukraine war. So you got diplomats. You look at the UK UK. You're talking about the pound. We pay in US. So you see that there is a gap. So the manual, foreign service manual, which revision is close to finality, takes into consideration these kinds of issues, the kinds of things, insurance, cost of living adjustment, when you are assigned to the field and you are recalled, what is it that you are entitled to? Even when you come. So all these things, are being addressed. So in essence, simply put, the welfare of Liberia's diplomats in the foreign service. The reform is also very, very much particular about that. Otherwise, something happens, you yourself went to the hospital. The work pay should not be that way. In fact, there are some countries where besides when you take in a fee, it's like a allowance, and your actual salary comes to your bank account in your country. One day we may reach there. Educational benefits for your children. How do you send your children to school? You got to rely on the salary, and so there's nothing for an ambassador of the foreign service to go there. So these are not new things. So the manual, the foreign service manual, will also address all of these kinds of gaps that we have. Reform is not an event. It is a process. So it takes time. But what is important is being committed towards the realization of such a process. Here in the ministry, when we talk about people were paying for services here in cash. People were paying at the ministry, but not to the ministry. But it was also a tough thing for me. Some people even took that out of context. It was like stepping on toes. But we had to resolve to do what we had to do. And for the very first time in the history of the ministry, we went to go and pay to the bank. Then you bring your receipt. Whether you want that article of incorporation cover, which was not paid before, it had to be paid at the ministry, but not to the ministry. And when I say to the ministry, it may not really being captured. And laissez passer, pay for apostille. So we contacted, may his soul rest in peace, the late LRA Commissioner General, Minister Twe. And so the three of us, working with our legal department, Councillor Gray, so a framework was put together and put in Gazette form. It's now mandatory that you go and pay to the bank, then you bring your receipt here and get the service. Because we are not revenue collection agency. And because of these kinds of measures, we were able, and you will see the report, we were able to get surpluses in terms of what we taxed to generate in terms of revenue since being here. 3 years in succession, and I'm waiting for this fourth one, which we will also share with you. The 12th year, we generated over 544,000 United States dollars as surplus for what the government of Liberia taxed us, that foreign affairs we need to pay. The second year, which was the special fiscal year, from the first year was covering from July 1, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. That fiscal year, more than 544,000 United States dollars surplus. The second year was a special year for 6 months, which was July 1, 2021 to December 31, 2021, 6 months, because the government wanted to come to calendar year budget. And what happened? We were able to generate a surplus of over 200,000 United States dollars. The government said, foreign affairs, you contribute this to the budget. But foreign affairs come with the measure, the reform, we then give them surplus. As it is, the records are there. And then the third, which was the first calendar year, and from January 1, 2022 to December 31, 2022, we contributed a surplus of more than 609,000 United States dollars, as contribution. The records are there because of these measures. I've asked our team to try to generate the records from January 1 last year to December 31, 2023. And I can tell you that record will be nothing away from these that we've talked about. I expect surplus, which will be consistent with our record from day one up to our time going up. It's because of the transparency and accountability measures we've put in place. Lastly, before we give the mic on this, when we took over as Minister of Foreign Affairs, we had a challenge with consular service fees being remitted. We had a challenge with that. But we decided that we would not take it from the past. That challenge was an inherited challenge, a challenge inherited by President William. It was not even a challenge by Madam Selita. That's something that big went home. I'm ambassador, or I am this foreign mission. I collect, when I collect, I don't send it. I do not send it. I met with the entire foreign service. They all here were present in that meeting through Zoom. And I said, every cent collected has to be remitted to the consolidated account of the Central Bank of Nigeria. It was not easy. We put our feet down. Finally, we said, I gave a directive. Any embassy or foreign mission that is collecting fees and not remitting, the ambassador or head of mission of that embassy or foreign mission and the finance president, we will not send your salaries, we will not send your rent. Some thought that it was being tough, but it was not being tough. If you give me a chance again, I will institute that same thing. Go and know the dividend. So we put our feet down and we started to go back. People who were not here. And it's just last year that we started to get missions sending, as it is, straight to the consolidated. Because they're not your money. The public financial management law is clear. Every cent collected, you remit it to the consolidated account of the Central Bank of Liberia. So when you need a fee, foreign ministry, we not revenue collection. So you got to send it. And that is happening now in terms of across the board. They will send to the DMA, they will send it to WhatsApp. Mother when she was there, she knows it started. They started when she was there. What I'm saying, I know whether honorary council thing, whether relating consular service fee, she was there, she knows. As it is. So we have those. So you can't talk about transparency and accountability preaching to the choir. I know what I went through, for these things.